tell, cause she leaned across my lap and buckled my belt and kissed me on the cheek, said thanks for the help. Hold on, boy. Well, she yanked the wheel and I held my breath. We flipped so many times we should have been dead, and that's all I got. And I just woke up here and that's it. All I remember is sirens, blue lights flashing and driving, dirt lane passing and flying, staring through the red lights, blowing through the stop sign. All I remember is sirens, blue lights flashing and smiling, one curve away from dying.
What is going on, everybody? I am S. Gibbs. Alongside me, I have Z Farls, who needs no introduction.
We are live. This is my boy Rex. He's the muscle.
Yep.
And that is Guru.
The goo.
He is the information. He's got the info. So I brought my boy Rex. Then in the gym, he's going to make Guru tell us about any upcoming promos for
Force
Madden
it out of
Ultimate
Guru.
Team.
Bringing him in to strong arm the info out.
Because I can't beat this guy up. Not with a beard like that. He's too manly. That jaw underneath there, it would break my fist.
We replaced RG with Rex. You can't replace RG, but we're doing the best thing we can do, and that's bringing in creative director Rex Dickson. Say hello to everybody, Rex.
Hi, everybody.
He says hi, everybody. So, Rex, why don't you tell some of the people here, that if they don't know who you are, what you do here, and why you're so important to the community.
So my name is Rex Dickson. I'm creative director for in-game, and that covers gameplay, graphics, audio, and presentation, although I tend to spend most of my time focusing on gameplay. I worked in a lot of FPS games before this, games like Turok Dinosaur Hunter, Medal of Honor, Homefront, several others. Just so you guys know, there are multiple creative directors on Madden, so just so you don't know, I'm not the only one. Colby Launchbaugh is the creative director of front ends and modes, so when it comes to things like CFM and Madden Ultimate Team, that's Colby's area. And we also have a guy named Mike Young who focuses on story stuff, and he worked on Fix for the last 2 years, so there's actually 3 creative directors on the team.
So we're lucky enough to have Rex here. You guys have seen him around the community for a while. Gameplay, he loves the community. He's actually been streaming. What's that been like so far with the community, streaming out there?
The first time I did it was by accident. I didn't realize what was happening. It was like we run this online CFM league with the developers upstairs, like all the gameplay guys, and it was a divisional playoff round, and I'd gone 15-1 in the season as the Ravens, and I wanted to record the game so we could play it back at work, and didn't realize that I live streamed it and that it automatically sent a tweet out from my account.
Perfect.
So midway through the first quarter, I got 48 people in my stream watching me lose my divisional title game. I played terribly, like one of the worst games I've played all year. It was really embarrassing. But the second time I streamed was actually kind of fun. We did Legend solos in MUT. A bunch of people jumped in. We talked a lot about gameplay. We talked a lot about nanos, very hot topic these days.
Oh, the chat's going to go ham. The chat's going ham.
You just said it. It's broke the seal.
I also learned a very valuable lesson. I thought it was a lot easier than I assumed to stream and interact with the chat and play at the same time. Turns out it's very difficult to play and interact with the chat. So props out to the Twitch community. You guys, you have a tough job.
I think it's important to note, like I always say, I have zero idea how a game gets made. So when I request stuff or ask questions or people tell me to tell them something, I'm always like, I can ask. I don't know how anything is done. I have zero skills. And I made a website once, but I got a D- on my project. But like when I come over and talk to Rex, he always goes the extra mile to explain stuff. And when they're looking into something, why, where, how, Colby's the same way. And so, like, to have a guy in that position that's willing to sit on this disgusting couch and...
Easy. It's leather.
Like, he's willing to come down from the floor to this floor, take time out of his day to explain stuff and take our questions is pretty remarkable. So shout out to Rex.
It's pretty cool. Like in Rex, as long as I've known you, that's how you've always been. We all here, literally all of us here from the community, right? And we can all say that Rex always listens to the feedback and not only just listens, but takes it to heart and really cares about what people have to say. So if you guys ever have questions, you know where to find him on Twitter at Rex DEA football, right?
You got it.
You can check him out on Twitter there. We'll put the link in later.
Rex, one of my favorite people in the building because of that Twitter channel right there, man. I'm telling you what, all gameplay questions, field them over to Rex.
Let's go.
Away from MUT Guru,
Come
please.
at me, bro.
Yeah. So let's transition there. So Rex, you were talking about gameplay there. So a big thing gameplay-wise was the update last week. Can you talk a little bit about what that update was? Can you share some of the things that people can expect to see from that?
Yeah. So for those of you who probably been playing the game a lot, you know that this year we've had more extensive post-launch updates than we've ever had before. And a big part of the reason that we've done that and we've come out with so many patches and so many updates is because we're listening. We have dev teams and community managers and QA people on Twitter, and you guys are talking to us and we're actually listening. And I think this is a little bit, unfortunately, unprecedented for us to have this level of involvement and interaction with the community. So by via nature of us listening to you, we found out about bugs very quickly that normally would take us several months to figure out. And by reaching out to you, some of you guys on social media, we were able to solve a lot of this stuff and provide extensive repro steps to our QA department. So you guys have been actively involved in this process, and this title update was no different. It included probably the biggest fix that we've been having. The biggest problem we were having was that blue screen freeze in MUT head-to-head play, which is due to the Legend equipment stuff. Something that was affecting some of our biggest MUT players, and we solved that mainly by talking to people on Twitter and Skype, and so props to you guys for helping us solve that, and the full fix for that came out in this patch, thank God.
Yeah, big shout out to you guys for that. All the information you guys provided for us was key in getting that fix out for you guys. The other thing in that patch was probably the biggest community request, and that was play a friend in Draft Champions.
Yeah, so I have a question on that, and that's kind of like goes back to my I know nothing about video games part. I would say when we came down and we saw this mode called Draft Champs, it was like, this is awesome. Are you going to be able to play a friend? That was kind of like
the first
question that people had. Yeah. So rather than, that'll be in next year, which is like sometimes a boilerplate thing, like for them to actually get it in this
Unbelievable.
patch, Unbelievable. It seems unbelievable. I don't know what it takes. I don't know. But I've seen Colby running around the halls like a maniac. So like,
yeah,
you
guys
talk about
give some love to Colby Launchbot. If you don't know who he is,
we got to get him down here.
He was the creative director on MLB The Show for many years. Came over to us 3 or 4 years ago, the same time I started. And Colby fought a battle the likes of which you guys would not believe. When you think about like EA and people say EA is all about money, you can imagine what it's like for a creative director to say, I want to build Draft Champions Play a Friend because it's what the fans want, and I want to build it this year and not table it until next year and sell it as a new thing. So he fought the good fight and he won, so shout out to him and Madden leadership for believing in his vision and supporting it. So we're pretty proud of that.
Yeah, another note on Colby, actually, and MUT guys will know him as the guy that redesigned MUT. He made all those menus slick for you guys. Yeah. He gave you the MUT binder. He's the guy that took the pending collections away for you guys. Okay, so Colby, definitely give him some love.
He's got pretty good beard too.
Yeah, his beard, it's not too bad. It's all right. It's no 5 o'clock shadow.
In the middle of that conversation right there, we had a stream raid from Rex. I know one of your personal favorites. You Need Seattle Bum.
Really?
The GGM movement is here. Just a shout out to You Need Seattle Bum. I'm telling you right now, Rex. I think 3 or 4 times now he's come and chirped in my ear about You Need Seattle Bum. Go watch him. Go check out his
Number
streams.
one on the PS4 leaderboard.
Is he really?
Is he?
What?
For MUT, not Draft Champions, right? Yeah, for MUT.
For MUT.
Yeah, so guys, check out You Need his stream. Thanks for sending some love over here to talk with Rex Dickson here, one of the creative directors for Madden.
Let me sidebar there because I do want to say, like, the people like Zan and You Need Seattle Bum and a few others who are out there who are actually using their stream to teach people how to play Madden effectively, how to counter certain strategies, how to slide your line if someone is sending heat at you.
God forbid.
All that stuff that can get really frustrating for people. These guys that are out there teaching people to be better at the game. Props out to you guys and for all you do, promoting the franchise, but also, promoting this whole idea of good game, man, and being respectful to your opponent. I think it means a lot, and I appreciate the fact that you do it.
I love it. Couldn't agree more. So Rex, the cat's out of the bag in terms of that you started playing MUT this year, right? That you started building your own team. You're getting into MUT.
You can tell.
I've heard you have a 93 overall MUT team. You talk to me a little bit about your squad?
Yeah, so I went off the deep end this year.
We got you.
I start playing Madden in March usually. The latest Madden I'll start playing in March, and I'll usually by the time the game comes out I'll play 1 year of CFM and pretty much be done with it. This year, Madden just crushed me this fall. I played Fallout maybe 2 hours and dumped it. I played Mad Max for a few hours and dumped it, and immediately came back to Madden. I'm still waiting for that game to break me out of the groove, but right now it's all Ultimate Team all the time. I think the big breakthrough for me was completing my first Legend Challenge and then completing that set. And once I had my first Legendary player, I wanted more of them. This is the first year where I actually adopted the style. My entire offense is ground and pound style.
Love it.
So I have 99 ground and pound, and I'm working on adapting my defense. My best player right now is surprisingly one of my lowest rated players, but DeAndre Levy at right outside linebacker is an absolute
87
beast.
overall. Why is he
making
good?
plays all over the field.
People
was
say
good at
he's
the
good
base
all the
team,
time, and I look at his ratings. I agree. Good play rec, good tackles, all those like standard stats you want for an outside linebacker to wrap up and make a play in the run game. But does he do well in like zone coverage for you?
All I can tell you, because I vary it up. I'll switch between zone and man depending on what my opponent is running. But he just tends to always seem to be there on third down.
You
third
need
and
that.
critical, and he's just always there making the
There's
play.
certain guys that show up in the game.
That's important for
It's
you.
just weird,
You're-
but it is.
Yeah, that's that thing we always talk about. It's like that MUT legacy. There's that one player that the stats don't quite show, but he's always
I'll also
gonna show
tell
up.
you an interesting story because I was building out my ground and pound team, and I was using the 92 Tony Romo card, which is a great budget value if you're building up your team. And I went after the 93 or 94 rated Cam, who's got the dual styles.
Yeah.
Oh God, he was terrible.
Not a fan.
Really?
I could not use him.
Oh,
I played on the stream 2 times, and I immediately dumped him.
Yeah.
I had the same thing with Flashback Vic. Like I just can't.
Love
It's
him.
like he's the guy. And
He's the
like,
guy. 91 thoracic deep. He's the guy.
So
If you need a guy to overthrow medium range passes,
Exactly.
he's the guy.
That's your guy.
84
Yeah.
thoracic
I
medium.
do
So I
not
agree.
need that.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
And so I switched to the 93 Dante Culpepper, and ever since it's been smooth sailing, and I'm feeling really good. Just got the Michael Irvin card 2 nights ago, completed his Legend set. He is a beast, although I don't like to contribute to the whole lob streak narrative,
Right.
so I tend to not go deep.
We
very
can get
often.
into that because listen, I defend that it's not that OP in my opinion. We can talk about
God,
that later.
Don't say that in
boy,
front of
here we
Unique
go.
Seattle Bums
No,
chat room. They're gonna
listen.
freak
You
out.
play cover 2, man. You pony up. You play big boy D and get 2 safeties back there. Play cover 2. You're good.
So-
I don't see it. I just
don't see
as
it.
super
Let me
OP.
talk to you about the heart of the argument from the competitive community. You
Okay.
guys see if you agree with this aspect. What they tell me is it's not so much the balance of the outcomes. They're pretty happy with the way the feature is balanced in terms of interceptions, drops, catches, whatever. What they're frustrated by is the lack of control, getting pulled into the animation. So if we were to
Yes.
build a feature where
Agreed.
you could like maybe choose the SWAT button and
Yes.
choose to go after
Yes.
the ball and SWAT,
I-
you guys would be in favor of something like that.
Remember when
I
we set
couldn't
up-
agree more. Like, yes, I want control. Like, so for example, we were talking on the Rich Grisham Press Row podcast last night. He does the Sports Game of the Year. We were talking about Rocket League and how like in that game it's really super oriented towards like user control. So if you get an instance like you just said, like if you can get a button in there to go and override the command or whatever, like that is exactly what I think that hardcore competitive community would want to see.
Right, if the ball goes over your head in Rocket League, you screwed up.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
the ball goes over your head in Madden, you might have either mistimed it or you didn't
Correct.
get the animation.
Or
that
you didn't get
wanted.
back quick enough or whatever.
I'm
but
all for
yeah.
getting that strafe, getting up to the highest point, and going for the pick if I don't want to get into a catch.
Here's the thing, though. My number one thing I absolutely love about the downfield wide receiver mechanics and stuff this year is that it makes you now fear one-on-one coverage. You have a stud
Oh,
receiver out
absolutely.
there.
Yeah.
You better have a stud corner to defend him
Right.
because, like, I don't want to play cover 3, send 6 blitzes anymore because I'm petrified that they're just going to throw it up downfield in a one-on-one situation. So now it's 3rd and 10. Maybe I won't blitz because I know that in the back of their mind they're like, last resort, I will throw deep if you don't have 2 guys against my one
say,
receiver.
at the
And
start-
I love
That's
that.
real football.
I think
That's real
that is
football.
the,
Call a timeout
that
if
is
you
the
have the wrong
step in the right
package.
direction
You know,
for
get the-
competitive gaming.
And I'll say, like, at the start of the year, nobody had their full offensive, like, scheme put together. They didn't have
Yeah.
all their reads. So if they called a play and their first read wasn't open, then their, like, next result was to throw it deep. So they threw it deep a lot more. I was in the shower and I'm like, man, I should just throw it deep way more.
TMI,
All
bro,
these- like, I
TMI.
have all these guys, I'm just like, why don't I take more one-on-one chances? Because usually I'm throwing to an open receiver, and then if it's like my 5th read later in the play, then I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, I'll give it a crack downfield.
Right.
But I don't go into a play and like I'm gonna throw one-on-one. It's like no, I'm
No.
gonna throw the open guy first, and then
We
3rd
could-
and
we
15, I gotta go.
We could spend forever talking about that.
yeah.
We can talk about that later on, but we could get some other questions here we have for Rex specifically. Rex, your favorite offensive formation. Give some insight into how you play the game. Let the chat know. We got 400 people in here right now, all wanting to hear how you play the game. Favorite offensive formation this year?
I'm not sure that's what they're interested in. I'm actually, this is where I'm going to sort of expose myself for being a little bit of a bum here, because I generally tend to run concept-based offenses, so I don't run a specific playbook. Although the more I'm getting involved with the competitive community and watching your ebooks, yes, I'm lurking your ebooks.
Lurking.
The more I'm kind of learning about having a scheme, and actually I've been messing around the Saints playbook a lot recently.
Very good.
Because of some advice that Zan has given me.
High
Generally,
close.
I run concept-based offenses depending on what my opponent's doing. I have certain passing and run concepts that I like to use.
Do you call your plays by concept?
I do, most of the time, yeah.
That's a huge tip for guys.
Huge.
In draft champs, if you're in a playbook that it's kind of foreign to you, and you don't know what formations have which runs, like go into by concept, find the concept you want, and just you can, especially if you're playing head to head and the guy's not sitting next to you on the couch. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Something we kind of overlook.
Now, Rex, same question on the defense side of the ball. Is there a formation you kind of feel comfortable in, or is there a formation, or is it more, I see what the offense is doing and come out in a set,
Like 3rd and 10,
appropriate
where
set?
you going?
So I'll pay attention to what's going on in the community. So a lot of the time I'll look at the community suggestion to see what people are calling. And then, like, for example, I didn't even know about the mic scrape thing until I started seeing it on Twitter. And then I noticed in play call, it started popping up all the time in the community proposed. So I like to run what the community runs to see why it's being so effective and why people are using it. I run mostly quarters. I hate to admit it. Quarters, 2-man under, quarterback in passing downs, obvious passing situations. It's not cheese.
No,
it's
I know. Rex, I get it.
But I will say this about quarters 2-man, and we can debate this as well. But right now, my big concern with quarters 2-man is that it's too effective against the run. And
I would agree. Yeah.
Agreed.
We need to get to a point where man defenses are much weaker against the run than zone, and that when you come out in quarters, you should feel like you're exposed against run plays, and that's something we definitely need to get to.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more. It's one of those things that people kind of have used for a while, and it'd be something that it'd be great to see. You pay for playing quarters, and it's something that if we go on a track record, we'll see it progress in the years to come.
For example, like for Madden 12, people used to drop a lot of their guys back in coverage. That has not been a
Can't
thing
do it.
since like Madden
Can't do
25.
it
Like
anymore.
can't
do it.
Smoked. And
Right.
if quarters was the same thing.
Right.
Maybe not quite as smoked as you get, but like if you start giving up, like the edge gets contained well in quarters, and that's kind of where.
Well, you have a lot of defenders out in the
Right.
slot, and I think that's partially what happens. But again, we could debate that all day. But on to our last question here for you, Rex, and we'll jump into some Team of the Week item reviews if you want to hang with us for that. Any other gameplay tips that you could offer to the community right now? Something that you think that might help them improve their game?
You're asking the wrong guy.
You're asking the wrong guy?
Steer them in the wrong direction.
Well, I think you might have gave a tip earlier. Plays by concept, right? I mean, that's a small tip that I think could be super
I
helpful.
would say like a big one would be go through Skills Trainer and like actually read the text and understand why it's happening. Go through the patch notes. Like one of the best parts about having RG on the MUTCast is I can ask specific questions. So Rex helped out Zan with a video. Zan made a new video about quarterback inaccuracies and why certain quarterbacks throw inaccurate. Zan has all these elaborate theories on ratings and awareness and overall and senses pressure traits and all this jazz on Zan's channel. So we can get you guys a link to that. But Rex, they kind of went in and looked like, are my feet set? You now have the feedback in the game that says under pressure, on the move, and you can kind of like figure out why am I throwing bad passes. I have people that like they ask questions and they're like, I keep overthrowing passes, and I'm like, what's the ratings? What mode are you playing? What difficulty are you on? Who are you throwing it to? Like, is it simply that you happen to be holding down the right trigger? Is it that simple that you're messing up, or like, is it a you problem, a game problem?
Ratings problem.
Who are you throwing to?
Ratings problem.
Is it a rating? Does the guy have 50, accuracy? Like, we need more details. Ask good questions. You got this guy on Twitter, he'll hit you back, but like, ask good questions.
You know what? Now that I have had some time to think about it, I think the best way to learn, honestly, if you want to get serious about playing Madden competitively, especially with what's going on with esports, and that's only going to get bigger as we move forward. I think maybe signing up to a system. Like, and maybe it's that you go into Problem Stream and you start watching the things he does and the plays that he uses, or maybe you follow Zan or one of these guys, Gibbs or Falls, or maybe it's you meet Seattle Bum or one of the Good Game Movement guys. But whatever it is, the more you sort of interface with them and watch what they're doing and learn their scheme and their system, that might be better than just jumping in the pool blindly and trying to randomly select plays. And I think there's a lot of good systems out there. Madden XO is another one we've checked out. And I'm sure everybody out there who's putting out ebooks or YouTubes or mixtapes or whatever, there's a lot of good information out there. But I think it is important for you guys coming up that you have a scheme, that you know kind of what plays you like to run in third and long, and what you want to come out with on first down, and what you want to do in the red zone, and you know, all that kind of stuff. Knowing how to stop or what to call to stop common things that are difficult to stop, like corner routes or drags, things that people consistently struggle with. Go look it up. Do some research on YouTube or Google, and you'll find there are some really good strategies out there to take this stuff away.
For sure. And guys, something that specifically that Farles and I have talked about for years in terms of giving tips and helping people improve their game, we kind of always have focused on 5 things to help you improve your game. That's what you want to have: a running scheme that allows you to run the ball to the left side of the field, to the middle part of the field, and to the right part of the field, all from one formation. So that could be a counter left, a halfback ISO up the middle, and like a toss or off tackle to the right edge. Where that's going to help you in the run game is that it's going to make it difficult for your opponent to focus in on exactly where you want to run the ball from that one set. They're always having to be worried about, is he running left, middle, or right? And that is going to open up a lot of things for you, not only in the run game, but in the passing game. And when it talks about the passing game, we always talk about you need to be able to have plays to beat man-to-man, plays to beat zone coverage, plays to beat the blitz, whether it's man or zone blitz.
It can be a simple halfback screen.
And plays to help you score in the red zone. If you focus on those 4 things for passing, that one 3-headed rushing attack for running the ball, you're going to see that your game is going to be simplified, and you're going to see that you're going to start moving the ball better on the opposite side of the ball.
I'd say like the last big thing is they've added, and a guy like RG's helped a lot with this, like they've given us all these tools and great little controls that I think go unnoticed to a big portion of the community, but they're so crucial to playing high-level Madden. So the ability to click down on the right stick and send your playmaker, send your spy after the quarterback, coverage shading underneath, protect the sticks, little things like this that are huge that the best players are always using. And just reminding those guys, that's one, you got to learn the buttons and use the skills trainer, but 2, just like knowing that they're in the game, and anything that you can't slow down just with a simple play. Like, I can't stop mobile quarterbacks. Hey man, 2 buttons.
How good is
just 2
Release the
buttons.
Hounds?
You've got guys making videos.
Is that what you're calling it?
I call it Release the Hounds.
That's
It's
awesome.
just the best thing. You just put the spy out there, they roll out of the pocket, Release the Hound.
What's your nickname for 01 Trap? Do you have one?
I don't think I have one. Do you have one?
I thought one of you nicknamed 01 Trap something.
No, I haven't. That was last year's Binky.
It was last year's
Is it
Binky.
the Binky?
Yeah, it was our Binky. Last year was our
Why is it
Binky.
called the Binky?
Because on 3rd and 1, it was just bread. It was
Oh,
just.
so this
free
is
money.
last year's FB Dive.
Well, this year it's inside zone.
So a little history on 01 Trap. The reason that's in the game is because when I played in college, we ran the freeze option. We ran Syracuse's offense from way back in the day, and our big base play was 01 Trap, and I was the left guard, so it was always my trap ball that I used to get.
That's why. Okay.
Rushing blocks over the middle. So I made A-Dub put it in the game when I got here.
Well, you know what? I think everybody last year, Madden 15 fans, would tip their cap to because they probably won a lot of games. Probably lost a lot of games because of one trap too. But
Don't run it against 3-4. Doesn't work.
absolutely. So, guys, as we transition here, got those base questions in there for Rex. We're going to get into the meat and potatoes. Why you're always here every single week. We're going to talk about this past weekend's legends, and we'll be talking about the Team of the Week items from this week. Let's kick it off here with our first legend from last weekend. 197 overall strong safety, Ronald Lott. And let me get the graphic up here real quick.
Ronnie made a big change on my team this week. Gibbs.
All right, talk to me about it, Goo. Talk to me about it, Goo.
Well, sweet. I'm 90 zone coverage. Check it out.
Nice.
Rex, there you go, yeah.
Goo.
Yeah. Goo, talk to me about it.
Goo, new promo or you're out.
Oh, not yet. Not yet. Come on.
Yeah, they
come
want
on,
to know
come
about the
on,
new
come on.
promo.
Yeah, I know. This phone has been like freaking on fire the past 4 days. It's insane. Got a little info coming for you here. But previous shows we talked about Night Train Lane back at strong safety for you, right? So Ronnie Lott came out. And Night Train Lane lost his position back at strong safety. We brought Night Train Lane back up to his natural cornerback position, and Ronnie Lott has been laying the absolute wood for me for the past couple days here. Great item out there with the hit power, with the speed, with the acceleration, with the zone. Great combination.
First of all, though, here's my beef with Ronald Lott.
Tell me.
There's only one of them right now on Xbox One, and he's 1.2 million. If you so say you have 1.3 million coins, are you going to spend that coin on this Ronnie Lott?
The thing is, strong safety is kind of a weak position.
True.
In
How much is Ed
There's
Reed
not
cost?
many options out there.
Wait, can't you get the 96 Tom Brady for that?
You could get a lot of people for
Get
that,
a
right? You
lot,
get a lot of
yeah,
players
absolutely.
for 1.2 million coin.
Yeah.
See, I look at his stats and I see, okay, 92 speed, love it. 99 hit power, love it. 82 man coverage, that's pretty good for a strong safety, but I could just sub in a corner, you know, like a Damaris Randall who's got 90 plus man coverage, who I can go out and get for like 20K or
You
whatever.
guys want me to put the hurting on Ronnie Lott?
But 90 zone coverage, 88
You
player
are
recognition.
always the party pooper. You
Farles,
just
tell me
love
why
pooping on the party.
Ronnie Lott is not worth the 1.2 million coins.
Okay. Ronnie Lott, I got bad news for ya.
Ronnie, can't you see?
Okay, so the things Ronnie Lott does well is he has 99 hit power. However, MUT has gifted us the last couple weeks a Night Train Lane that has 99 hit power and a Sean Taylor that has 100
even
hit power.
Dawkins before that, right?
And you got
I mean,
Brian Dawkins. So he's the fourth guy that's going to lay the lumber. So you could play a cover 4 shell with those 4 guys and lay the lumber. If you're going to, and this is all coin value, would you want to Ronnie Lott in your team? Absolutely. But
Yes.
if you're really, managing the coins. 88 play rec, I love to see the 90 threshold to get them to kind of play all natural and not have to consider usering them. So if you're going to use a Ronnie Lott, you get the hit power, but you lose the 90 zone coverage. So if you want an all-out coverage player, you're going to go Ed Reed 94 zone coverage at strong safety. And if you just want a user
his
guy,
price is a little up there too,
He's
though.
more-
Yeah.
A little
I'm saying,
pricey,
but
you
this
know
is
what I'm
premium.
saying?
This is a premium.
Wait,
Premium
we're in the
player.
premium category here.
If you have to ask how much Ed Reed is, you can't afford
Right.
it. That's all you got to know.
I think we said that. Yeah,
But
absolutely.
so if you want to wield 100 pop in your bat, strong safety to user, you're gonna go get Sean Taylor
Right.
and never look back. I know you got to play him out of position, but for the role of a big hitter that you got a user, Taylor's faster, more hit power, and the zone coverage is lower, but like you're usering him, so you're using him to his strength already.
Right.
The Lott is like between Reed and between Taylor coverage, so he's caught somewhere in no man's land.
Right.
I still think he's really, really good. I really like his man coverage. If you were going to play a lot more man coverage,
Not good enough, though.
Yeah.
I get it. I like it, but like at that point, we're like, oh, yeah, it's good enough. 82 man coverage, not good enough.
You're gonna need to see the price drop.
Need to see the price drop. If you told me this item was going for 250,000 coins, I would say, yeah, I'd pick them up. But with guys out there like Calvin Pryor, I mean, base silver Landry, 99 hit power. Like, if I'm going to use a Ronnie Lott, like you said, I'm just going to go get the Landry instead, user him, make big plays. My stamp of approval on this is Ronnie Lott for 1.2 million coins. No.
These
Falls,
guys clearly are not
stand?
after their dual style. I'm just saying that.
That's fine.
Clearly
Right.
not after their dual style. Clearly do not care about their awareness dropping when running people out of position.
Nope.
Clearly do not care about losing a boost, if any. There's no boost. Don't worry about that. But the thing is, if somebody wants a true strong safety, okay,
Yeah.
if
Oh,
you
yeah.
want somebody in position, you're after those dual styles, right? You want both of those styles. You want the full awareness of your player. The Ronnie Lott, it could be worth it for you when taking all of those
Easily
things
the
into
best big
consideration.
hitting strong safety in the game. I do like the man, and I will say I used him this weekend and he had a couple picks and wickets.
Rex?
So here's my opinion. I'm just gonna say this out loud. If you spend any points or coins now before the Christmas promo, before you know what's coming,
This guy.
Can we do
The mud guru on the
I mean,
the
considering
guru.
the fire that dropped on Thanksgiving and ruined my entire holiday, I
Fire,
should have been
fire.
eating turkey and mashed potatoes with my kids and quality time with my family. Instead, I'm ripping blitz packs left and right. If it's anything at that level, I'm saving everything just till I see what's going on.
All right, guys, you heard it here first. Let's move on to our next
was a day, Rex.
review. This is another legend from last weekend. One Playmaker Michael Irvin, Xbox One,
Yes.
300,000 coins, PlayStation 4, 320,000 coins. Take a look at his 5 key stats: 94
deal.
speed, 94 spectacular catch, 98 catch in traffic, 92 route running, and 97 release. Like, extra E on that there. Start with Farles. Your thoughts on this Irvin for 300K?
The Playmaker is very, very good. So need to get the playmaker in the right role. For his blend of catch in traffic, inspect the 98, 94, like making him a one-on-one catcher downfield, only Kelvin Benjamin throwback, I think, with 97, 97 is going to be that good.
Yep.
But he has 88 speed. So Irvin is the fastest, not including Bruce. Bruce is still one spot better, but he's way more. So Irvin, his speed combo makes him extremely fast for a one-on-one downfield catcher. The one knock on Irvin, if this is important to you, is his route running. I had him on the drag because I was like, all right, he's got 94 speed. So when I was putting him on the drag, he was not rack catching upfield, and I was like, is it my quarterback throwing off? Am I pass leading and I shouldn't be? What I noticed when I playmakered him upfield, it was taking him like an extra half step to cut, and I think that's tied to the route running. So be careful on the routes. 92 is still very good, but be careful on the routes you want to put him to. There's theories out there that you want 96 or more. So a slight knock to Irvin on the route running, but in the right role, he's super, super fast for the downfield catching.
All right,
Rare.
Rex, your opinion on this, Michael Irvin?
I have this card. I completed the Legend set for him, mostly from what I got from those Legend Pack bundles which dropped earlier this week. So he's the only player in my offense that doesn't have the ground and pound style. That's how much I respect what he can do on the field. I actually have him. I had him in the slot for a little while. I moved him out to the outside. I have Brandon Marshall, Julio Jones and Irvin now on the outside, and I have who'd you call it in the middle? That other guy I just mentioned.
Yeah, blitz ticket Julio out there?
Yes.
Nice.
95
Nice.
Julio.
He did have a good Thanksgiving.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Yeah. So he plays well for you?
I'm a huge fan. So
Okay.
far, so good. He's had some big game winners for me on some all Madden challenges. So yeah, I'm all in.
All right. Goo.
Hey, man, this is his triumphant return to MUT. He's been one of those guys that MUT players have been leaning on out there for a long time. He's going to come up with a big play for you. Again, one of those MUT legacy guys that's just always going to be solid for you. Big body receiver. I think his jump is 99. Okay? So that route running thing, I don't know if people are going to be using him for that kind of
Right. I thought
pass.
92 was good. I'm just saying that's the one thing I noticed, and you definitely want to have him on there. I compared him to the most feared Dez.
Yeah.
And
Very good. Daz is good.
And
Let me tell you a story
I
about
like
that
Gary.
99 jump, because this legit happened to me. I throw a lot of drags and slants over the middle, and when I'm under pressure, I tend to get a little spastic and really hammer down the button. And when you throw like really hard bullets, you tend to roll very inaccurates more often. Every single time I've rolled a very inaccurate, the one that sails like wide and goes to the DB. Irvin has like done some miraculous jump and snatched it out of midair. He's bailed me out of at least 7 or 8 very inaccurate throw on crossing routes in my first 3 days using him.
That's a big review right there because that's a guy that can help cover some of your weaknesses, whether it's your quarterback or if you made a bad read. It seems like Irvin might make up for some of that with some of his ratings. So I think the stamp of approval here will go quickly here. Farrell, stamp of approval.
absolutely strong too. Just really nice for 300.
Rex, stamp
All
of
in.
approval.
All
All in.
Yeah, 300. You're going to immediate impact on your team.
All right, Michael Irvin, the playmaker, he's approved for the 300 coins. Go out and try and find him if you can. Our next player up for review. This is a special player.
Speaking of Fire Flames,
Team of the week, limited time, 95 overall right end.
What a
PS4
monster game.
550K, Xbox One 440K. He's a right end with 90 speed, 95 hit power, 100 pursuit, 97 power move, and my favorite stat of all on this item here, 81 zone coverage. Farrells, talk to me a little bit about this Mack. What do you like? What do you see here?
So Khalil Mack, the biggest note on this Mack is that he is a right end, not a right outside linebacker like his most feared item. He had 3 sacks when I said this guy should get a team of the week.
Right, I
And
was
then
gonna
he
s-
ended
yeah.
up with 5, and I was like, now he's definitely getting a team.
Is that why he's a 95 overall? Continue.
Ridiculous. If you go into Mudhead and you set your attributes and you kind of test the Mack, he's the only guy that's going to show up when you see the combination of power move, block shed, strength, speed. He can pretty much do it all. You've got to, if you're gonna spend this coins on him, like figure out his exact role. We've been using the most feared Mack. We kind of keep him. We had him in our lineup for a long time, and then we're like, is he still good? Because more guys have come out, and then it's like, yeah, he's still good. When you look at him, you're like, oh, dang, he is still really good. Gibbs, your thoughts on like the exact role? Because 81 zone is amazing. The Porter, Joey Porter, stacks up pretty well to this guy.
Yeah.
But the Mack does more.
I'll tell you where I'm going to use him is a big dime 146. I'm going to play big boy D, cover 2 man. I'm going to have him at my right end, and then when I drop down to the 146, he's going to be the defender on the nose. So he'll be going against centers. With 90 speed, he's got 95 excel. The 97 power move, he's going to be an absolute monster there. And that's where I want to use him in my defensive scheme.
So you'd move the Watt.
He's going to just organically go directly there.
You can get him a D tackle now because he's a right end, which is very
correct.
Nice
It's nice to have.
He's an end in the league.
I don't think that you want to use him for a true run stuffer. His block shed only at 89 range. I do think there's some flexibility to use him as an outside linebacker, drop him back up because he's got 81 zone coverage. But then my concern there is you're wasting that 97 power move. So if you're going to use him at outside linebacker, make sure you use him in a blitzing style scheme where you're going to be rushing him off the edge a little bit, try to get him matched up against some linemen, or if he's at the linebacker, matched up against a tight end or a running back that might be blocking. So in passing situations. So that's my recommendation. Rex, your thoughts?
I pulled a bunch of packs to try to get him. I had failed. So I do not have Mack on my team right now.
We know a guy if you want one.
Right end tends to be one of my main weaknesses. So right now I'm holding off. Got to see what happens in the next
His
week
impacts
or so.
till tomorrow, Rex. I'm just saying, you still got a chance.
I might. Yeah, he's got the run stuff style, which fits what I'm trying to do on my defense. But right now I don't have the coin to pick him up, unfortunately.
All right, Goop.
This guy's a monster. Okay, he can do about everything. This I've been using him in the zone blitz. Okay, where he drops back and gets in the coverage. He's got a couple picks for me that way. He's that 100 pursuit. He's been all over the field for me. And again, like we're saying, he's still available in packs right now for you.
All right, guys.
So question on the pursuit is that when a ball carrier has the ball, how he's going to like use his angles to get to the ball carrier? Do we know? I don't know. These are questions.
Who could we ask about that?
More or less.
Yeah.
Generally speaking.
Generally
Because
speaking.
some people like it
Without
for
getting
pass.
into intense
Some people
detail.
like it for pass rush. They're like, oh no, it's great for pass rush. And I'm like, I don't know if it's for pass rush, ball carrier. If it's, I don't really know.
Where I noticed that is, this is why I love the Ed Reed at strong safety, is where I see guys with a higher pursuit, like I feel like they take a better line on running plays, like they're there in position ready to make a play on like tosses, and I see them make better plays specifically on tosses when that pursuit is higher for me, and that's just like literally playing thousands of games, not thousands yet, probably approaching that, but for this year. So that's where I look at that pursuit, and I think 100 pursuit, like holy smokes, that pursuit might play better with him being an outside linebacker rather than a D end at 10 in the dirt.
If you can't afford the Mack yet, I'm gonna say take a look at last week's Football Outsiders Ziggy Ansah.
Mm-hmm.
He's somewhat reasonable. He doesn't have the full bevy of stats that the Mack has, but he's like got a lot of the similar things: speed and excel and the power move. And then also Justin Tuck signature is pretty close. His is 97 finesse move instead of power move. And then if you're gonna want to use Mack at that edge position, the Porter has a little more play rec, so he might play the run a little bit better. Block shed's a little lower, but the strength's a little higher, so it might even itself out, and they have the same power move.
Sure. So stamp of approval time, guys. Yes or no, Farls?
Yes, if you can figure out how to use them.
Rex?
If you can afford the coin.
Yeah, he's gonna go down too. So I mean, it's definitely worth a pickup next week if the coins are a concern.
I'm gonna say no for the coins. You need a guy more specific for your scheme if you're going to go out and get that many coins. He does a little bit of too much of everything. Not completely a stud. He's not the Alden Smith 99 power move. So that's my reason why I'm saying no. He drops in coins. He's a yes. Quickly, guys, we'll transition into our next item for review. Everyone in the chat, we appreciate you guys here. If you're not following the channel already, go on and click the follow button lower part of the screen. If you're watching on YouTube later on, make sure you subscribe to our channel as well. And eventually when we get on iTunes, when we get our approval process done through iTunes, we will be on iTunes. So
it'll be an actual cast.
It'll be an actual cast at that
MUTCast.
point. So looking forward to that. But our next item to review here is a 93 overall halfback, team of the week, Eddie Lacy. Xbox One, 175,000 coins. PS4, 165,000 coins. look at some of his key stats: 90 speed, 91 agility, 91 acceleration, 97 truck move, and 91 carry. Farls, give me some thoughts.
All right, so my thoughts on Lacy are he has 87 strength, which is something you don't see up here. Extremely strong, gonna help him break tackles. He also has pretty reasonable route running and catching for a bigger back. You might not think, but he's really good. He's also got 95 spin move because Eddie Lacy, at Alabama spun like a monster. And his excel combo with the speed, he also has 91 elusive. Which is nice to have the truck and elusive go along. Some of the guys that have 97 truck have like 60 elusive, and you're never going to really break an elusive tackle, but Lacy gives you both. I liked him more than I thought I would, if that makes sense, because he has the strength. I'm usually leans towards a faster back, but when you do factor in that strength, Lacy in play now for me, I play with the Packers.
One of the best.
Yeah, like
one of the best.
He's never a guy in MUT where I'm like, I gotta go get a Lacy, but every time I have him in play now and the ratings are more like across the board, he breaks like 5 tackles on a play, and you're like, dang, that's what's up.
Nice. Rex, your thoughts here? The 165K price range, those ratings, what do you think?
I'm tempted to pick this one up, and primarily because I run ground and pound team style on offense. I have a 99 style rating, and I have a coach. I finished the ground and pound style challenge and got a coach who gives me, I think, a plus bonus to my trucking across the board. So I'm thinking like with that boost and with Eddie Lacy, I would have over 100 truck. That's something I might be wanting to check out. But right now I'm super attached to Walter Payton at running back. I got Payton and Okoye in my backfield, and it's really hard to imagine diverging from that set because so far nobody's really stopped them. I'm having a lot of fun using them. So probably a good card. I might pick it up, but right now I'm sticking with Walter Payton.
Eddie's kind of a Peyton Jr., I think. He really is. He does it all.
It's a good recommendation there, Goof.
He has that nice balance of stats. He's going to be able to catch the ball for you. He's also, what we haven't talked about is he's a good blocker. He's got good block stats. Okay,
yeah, really high pass block.
Yeah, so if you're going to use your halfback to try and block some of those blitzes that we're talking about, this could be a good help.
Goo, did you want it to be Eddie Lacy? No. Did you want it to be Todd Gurley?
Or did I want it to be Isaiah Crowell? Actually, would have been the correct answer for me.
Who
had a better game than both of those dudes.
79
Just
carry.
say that.
Yuck.
I just cut Crowell from the fantasy team for Edelman last week.
Good timing.
Other recommendations, so if you guys can't afford the Lacy, but you still want kind of that really strong back, Chris Ivory has a 93.
Super card, yeah.
He has more truck, and I think he's a little... He doesn't have as good catch, but the whole mixture's right up there with Lacy. And then most feared Marshawn Lynch, who hopefully has come down since that promo. The Marshawn Lynch is similar to the Lacy too, so depending on where you want to go. There's no truck backs that have extremely high agility in the game until your boy, Crowell. He has 90 speed, but he has like 95 agility, 95 excel.
79 carry.
Yeah,
you can't play him at that level, but
you can't play him at halfback. Other than that, he's great.
But if you want a really high truck back, you've always had to sacrifice agility. No longer with Crowell.
Yep.
But check out those.
So stamp of approval time, yes or no, Farls?
Yes, this is a good item.
All right. RG. RG.
Wow.
Whoa,
That's a compliment, though.
That's like when he calls you Farls. That's how it feels, Rex. That's how it feels.
You guys know
Rex.
where RG is today?
Yeah, we do. I do. Yeah, he's up in.
He's blazing the trail for
Up
us.
here.
RG
yeah.
is making a little work trip to Foxborough Stadium.
Yep.
So we'll see if he gets a picture of himself standing outside of Tom Brady's locker.
Dear God, that would be a dream come true.
For the
Moral of the
price-
story is he's having more fun than us.
Yeah, probably. For the price, I'm saying this is a yes.
So here's the thing: I have not played with Eddie myself, but I hear great things from the community right now. They're out there using this item. A lot of people are surprised about how well it's doing for them. Again, I think that's the mix of the stats in there. Again, like Farrell was saying, I mean, he's tough to bring down. Yeah, absolutely. So I think for the price, he's a great mix for you, and a baby Walter. So
I'm going to say no. 97 truck, yes, I absolutely love that. Farrell's made some great points about his agility being higher compared to some other trucking backs. I have most feared LeGarrette Blount right now, and he gets the job done. I don't run a ton of tosses. I don't run a lot of outside runs, get him outside on screens. If I put Blount in the game, I'm just running halfback ISOs, or I might run a fullback dive with him.
You really should
I'm not,
sub them out.
Right. I'm not looking for Eddie Lacy to get outside of the pocket here to make big plays for me. So for that very reason, I think I can get more value with my coin elsewhere, and that's where my stamp of approval is a no on this Eddie Lacy.
There's the Sproles just got a Football Outsiders. There's Shane Vereen. There's Danny Woodhead. They all have updated items that are the best third down back types in the game for pennies. So, Lacy is nice that he does it all, but just get one of those guys and put them in on third down.
Do you think it's critical to have a third down back in your roster?
Oh, huge.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You really notice it. Like if you go to like a four verticals and you have it's man-to-man coverage, a lot of people love that's like the meta. Love man-to-man. Like you need a halfback with good route running to break free from those linebackers. So
some of the best
it's
routes
super
in the
important.
game are like the option route beats man. But
beautiful.
when people play quarters, what I've noticed is so all of a sudden you got Sam Shields, 90 overall captain dude. He gets matched up on the halfback. Marshall Falk, 87 route running. He's kind of able to get cuts, but if you sit there playmakering, Sam Shields with a low rated back would just stick with him. Even like Walter Payton can be a risk there. On the four verticals route, the route that comes up and cuts underneath while the one goes over the top, where you kind of got to pick the one you want to use. That's a really important route. The table route,
table route, super important.
Huge.
One of the best routes in the game.
So like three of the best routes in the game and like the easiest to kind of learn, because like you look, you see the flat, okay, I can hit it, and their simple throws are super important to the halfback, and I feel like the route running ends up being really important in those senses.
Quick pro tip there, guys. If you're looking for a great route running budget halfback, take a look at the 84 base gold LaShawn McCoy. He's one of the highest in the game. I think 84 route running. So if you stack it up against that legend Marshall Falk, 87, 88, you said, he's only 4 off. So you can go out and get a great third down back with a good agility and acceleration. Speed a little lower, but he could be a great third down back for your scheme at a very reasonable price.
I'm using that Falk. He's
There you
such
go.
a beast in third down.
He is a beast. We got 3 more items to review here, guys. Then we'll get into our questions from the community, and then the bad beat story of the week. And we have our next item here: the Doug Baldwin, 89 overall wide receiver, Xbox One, 51,000 coins, PS4, 48,000 coins. He's got 91 speed, 95 agility, 94 acceleration, 95 catching traffic, and 93 spectacular catch. Rex already pointing down to the ground. Rex, we'll start with you.
I had this card. I dumped it.
That's it. I mean, what else can you say? That's it right there.
Get a little coins, make a little coins.
What didn't you like about it? What did he
I
down
couldn't
to?
tell you specifically. Just like didn't get any breakout performances. And usually when you have a card over 4 or 5 games, you don't see a breakout performance. You start questioning.
Yep.
Like I have a 90 Lofton, a middle linebacker who I've had for forever. He's not really done anything. Like, I
those
can't
are the
tell
worst.
you that anything that he's decided games are ready. And Doug Baldwin was the same for me. Just no breakout performances, so I just swapped him out.
And
Quickly,
then
Falls,
I'm
what do you
gonna
think?
pull my best friend Doug, and then I'm gonna say Doug is outstanding. So Doug Baldwin's combo of catching traffic and spec, mixed with his agility, for the price, there's
Yeah,
only one
okay.
player better.
All right.
There's only one player better.
Who?
Amari Cooper. The
And he's a
91,
stud.
the 91 Amari
Journey.
Cooper is the only guy that can do what the Doug does until you start to get into the 100,000, Joe Horn, Brian Finner, and all those combos.
Mm-hmm.
I was very, very surprised yesterday when I started digging around Mudhead, snooping, clicking boxes. Let me get this stat. Let me get this formula. And Doug was one of the only guys that showed up.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really,
So you're
really
saying
surprised.
like better than 90 Roddy White and better than 88 Odell Beckham.
If you look at those stats,
They
Talking
cost
about
way
that
more.
range?
They
Yeah.
cost more. Yeah. But his catch and traffic and spec combo.
and then that agility
he's
itself.
a really unique blend of a guy. I don't know how I'm going to use him. He's not going to make my squad, but like I was pretty surprised because usually I'd look at that card and be like, I don't want it.
Here's
Short,
the test.
Whatever.
If his height didn't say, what is he, 5'11", somewhere in there, if he was, say, 6'4", would that change your opinion on? Like, everyone would be like, oh my god, that's like the Amari Cooper. Everyone loves the Cooper because he's...
Cooper's amazing.
Right. So he's almost as
and
good,
he's
a little
sort
slower.
of similar, and he's, you're gonna get better value with Cooper, but Doug is
Goop?
there, and he's gonna drop.
Remember,
the
you can
price.
get that Cooper just purely grinding.
Right.
Purely grinding, you can spend some time and go get yourself.
Go
that
to the
Cooper,
club,
right?
skip the club, grind at home instead of grinding at the club, and get yourself an Amari Cooper.
All
There
right.
you go. So, think about this Baldwin. It's going to excite me for one reason, and that's because it's my key to Eddie Lacy. When I pull this card out of a pack, I'm going to say, first of all, I can make some coins. I can go sell it on the auction house, or I can stick it in the set and head on my way.
The
to
goo
Eddie Lacy.
lives in the menu.
I love it.
Know it.
So
Any champ.
Rex with the initial no, Farls with the yes, Goo with the yes, Gibbs with the absolute yes. I love what this guy does, and it's basically off of the price for him right now. That's an amazing price for the combination of stats that you're getting from him. Go out and pick up a Doug Baldwin. He could be a big-time player for your squad. 2 items left to review here for this week's show. We have 87 overall D tackle, Jabaal Sheard. I don't even really want to talk about him because he's so bad. 24,000 coins, 32,000 coins. My problem with you, Jabaal, even though I love you, you're a Patriot, you had a great game. What do you do, man? Like,
Finesse
do you
move?
have an identity? Who are you?
What position are you
77 agility?
Weak.
D tackle?
Very
Wait,
weak.
What?
What do you do?
Can't play the run. You got a 19 finesse move, but who cares? There's just such better value. You can go
Right.
get a DN and move him to DT.
Danny Shelton, Brandon Williams, Dan Williams, like
Next.
whatever. Next
Grosses me
question.
out, grosses me
We're
out.
not even stamping
X
approval.
Brown, he's
no,
awesome.
get out of here.
He
And
didn't even mention Vince Wilfork, the Pats fan. Just left him off the list entirely.
by the way, though, even if you want this item, 32,000 coins is way too much. Like if he was 2,000 coins,
off
I'd be
the
like,
screen.
okay, get off the
This
screen.
guy's going to be 10,000 coins next week after the next Team of the Week set comes out again. That's only priced the way it is because these are going into the Team of the Week set this week. So
Here we are with 86 overall cornerback Trumaine Johnson, 33,000 coins across the board on both system. Farl's already looking at like,
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah,
You wanna talk
91
about-
speed,
you wanna talk about
92
something real
agility, 93 acceleration, 94 man coverage, 86 zone coverage. Farl's, give it to me.
2 hidden stats on this item.
Yes.
81 spec catch,
Wow.
80 hit power.
That is sneaky.
wow.
So if you
Impressed, I
search,
didn't see
if you
those.
search players with 94 man, 80 spec, and 80 hit power or higher, there's only 2 players in the game. One of them cost 1 million coins, Night Train Lane, and the other one is Trumaine Johnson, Team of the Week, who absolutely is a player that if you're, around a 90, 92 overall, like you should look at this guy in your roster, for your roster. Really sleepy. Love this item. Very, very good.
Rex?
I think if you're a 90, 92 overall, aren't all your corners already 90s? For most people, like, isn't that the first place where you're like, damn, I better get a better
Yeah,
player?
you should upgrade.
I would be terrified of playing an 86 at cornerback in our game.
No, I think
With 94 man coverage,
94
that is
man coverage,
elite.
91 speed.
You
he's
play a lot
good.
of man? That's a
He's
stud
good.
corner.
He's good.
I don't know. There's a lot of powerhouses at corner.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit above this range, but I wouldn't feel comfortable with
They
86
jump a
range.
lot in price
Yeah.
though, so you can get like the Gilmore, the Darby, but as soon as you even go to like the base elite Hayden, he jumps a lot in price. There's no corners
60, 70K,
between
yeah.
like 40K and like 150K.
Like how much for like the 90 DRC though?
He's still up there. He's still
Jeez.
up there.
Yeah. That's one of those MUT legacy players. It doesn't kind of matter. It's like DRC, so his value's going to stay high, and he is solid still. I would take the DRC over this
Yeah,
guy.
he lived at 200K. He's probably down to like
He's been steady there the whole time.
Yeah, he's just been.
137
Down to
for the
140.
90 team captain DRC.
Also, remember, there's a Team of the Week hero DRC
Yeah.
too out there too, which I'm sure is more up closer to that
Yeah.
200 price point.
So, yeah, we've got a full list of budget guys on youtube.com/dfarls for man coverage. And this guy with the hit power, he becomes somewhat useful because he's the only guy that does what he does. So if you scheme him, then
All right, Goo, any final
I
thoughts
think
on
it
this?
looks like a strong slot cornerback that's going to be able to come up and make a run stop and lay the wood on somebody. So I think
Pro
that's
tip.
I think that's one option. Also, again, guys, these coins are going to come down. This price is going to come down. If this is something you want to get for your all Rams team, talking to you, Chuck Cullenbach, then it's something that maybe wait on, but still is going to make an impact to your all Rams team in a couple weeks here.
I love it. All right, guys, that's going to do our last item for this week's review. We'll be back, obviously, next week to review this weekend's Legends and also next week's Team of the Week items. Talk
shout
about
out
the Madden
to,
Challenge next week.
Quick shout out to Crowell,
Yep.
Isaiah
Yes.
Crowell, only guy
Feed
in
the
the
crow.
game, only guy in the game with like above 96 truck and above 95 agility.
I was going to put him in the list, but then I saw 79 carry and I threw
Yeah,
up on myself.
You can't
so
have him.
I
You can't have him, but
him.
it's like cool. It's what I really like about this week's Team of the Week is like they gave you weird blends.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
now all of a sudden you got these lower rated guys that like if you like exactly what they do.
Get those
then
carry
they're-
boost coaches, guys.
Right.
Get those elite carry boost coaches. Stick them in there.
All right, guys, let's go to our community questions. This week, we had questions come in, people on Twitter using the hashtag MUTCast. Our first question from @JA Meowg. It's a tough name to say. He says, do you guys value pass rushers that have both finesse and power move? Thoughts?
No, give me one or the other.
Give me one or the other. Rex, your thoughts?
Negative. You want one or the other because, you pretty much want to stick with what move the guy's best at. There's no reason to do a finesse if he's strong in power. So I would stick with one.
Goo?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is the man when we're talking about that kind of stuff.
Right, even if I did think otherwise, I'd be like, no,
I'm wrong. I'm totally wrong.
If RG was here and we had more time, I would be like, yo, what about if you... Because I've seen Michael Johnson in Play Now with that finesse move. He actually does like a spin, and it was terrifying.
Yeah,
so
it's
like
pretty good.
that was kind of unique.
Well, he's 6'5", too, so that's pretty tough.
Yeah, I've been trying out like Justin Tuck
Terrifying.
and Cameron Wake 98 power move, Tuck 97 finesse move to see who gets more. I haven't really noticed, so I would just stick with higher for now.
All right, so next question comes from @MUTSensation31. Says, guys, do you think Brandon Browner has value as a fourth corner and or safety in Big Dime 146? He has gotten me a ton of picks in all Madden.
No, he has 80 speed. I wish he got an updated item, but for him to do that, he would have to actually make a play and just stop getting penalties. Every time the red zone channel cuts to like the Saints game, he's just standing on the sideline yelling at somebody. I'm like, why are you so angry?
I was going to say, if we had penalties on in MUT head-to-head, he wouldn't even be asking me that.
Like he would be a good, he would in theory be a good safety because of his high zone coverage, but 80 speed, you can't do anything. If he got an updated item that had like 92 speed and all that zone, sure, give him a shot, but no, not right
Goo?
I kind of have bad dreams about Brandon Browner because DJ Mateo and I were in the Invitational Draft Champions here with Cam Newton not that long ago, and DJ Mateo eliminated me with a Brandon Browner jump route, picked me off, took me to the house, ended the game. So I have a thing for Brandon Browner in a bad way.
We loved him last year, but
Absolutely. What I like
I
about
don't even
Brand,
want to see him out there.
what I like about Browner, he gives you a guy with 6'4" height. So if you
That's the
pair
thing.
him up
That's
as
how
a
he got
user
me.
with George Aloka, you got two guys back in the secondary, maybe user him. Outside of that, no. Look elsewhere.
too late in the game.
Next question coming from @Chris_. I always say his name wrong. Seagirl.
Seagirl,
Yeah,
I don't
Seagirl. He says, in draft champions, do you always look to pick a quarterback, or would you take a player first? Example, 81 Amari over base Bradford, and just stick with the silver Sanchez that you get.
Oh,
So
that's the risk.
the
of draft
rumor
champions.
is the only guy you should stick with is Jimmy Garoppolo if you get a silver. Like he's the only guy where you consider you might not need a quarterback. I'll say in draft champions,
Or Drew Butler.
the first 100, 200 drafts I did, I felt like I always got a pretty reasonable shot at quarterback. The last like 10 I've done have been like, man, I might not get a quarterback here. I've gotten bailed out slightly, but you kind of need a quarterback
Sure.
if you want to pass at all.
Rex?
I think for me, it's usually like if I skip over a quarterback in a round for a better player, if I reach round 5 or 6 and I haven't found my quarterback, that's when it starts to become a priority. And then if one pops up, I'll automatically choose it if it's after round 6.
All right, last question we have here from @RFHunter101. Looking for the best wide outside linebacker for my MUT 3-4 defense. Have an 85 overall high tower right now. I'm looking to upgrade. You heard it earlier. It's the Levy here from,
There you go.
or DeAndre Levy from the Lions from Rex. Any other recommendations, guys?
It depends. If you want a zone coverage backer, 88 Team of the Week, Levante David.
That's
If you-
exactly where I was going.
Yeah,
with
if you
Levante
want a run stuffer,
How's that Derek Brooks legend?
Pretty good.
Nasty.
Oh,
Nasty.
Zone
Yeah.
Maestro.
The Brandon Marshall. There's a Christian Jones or something. He's a road to the playoffs like turkey guy.
Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Thanksgiving guy. He's nasty for all that purpose, and he's a very reasonably priced. So maybe go ahead and check him
Yeah,
out.
it really, you need to ask a better question about, like, I specifically want to run stuffer.
Yep.
Because you could, there's plenty of guys.
I like Julius Peppers on the left, too.
Oh yeah.
All right,
Absolutely.
Julius Peppers. All right, guys. The last part of the show is our bad beat story of the week. I forget his name. I can't find it. Sorry, but you'll know what it says here. Actually, it was like Donut 71 or something. I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
So his bad beat story. He
You
says,
wouldn't be able to read it anyways. It's a bad name.
He says, I'm in a close game of draft champions. I wasn't playing well, but I was still in a close game. I'm down 4 heading into the 2-minute warning. I'm getting the ball back, and it's officially time to make the game-winning drive. I work the ball downfield and get the touchdown. Under a minute of time left on the clock remaining. I'll be up 3 if I score, and I'm going to stop him once he gets the ball back. Well, as I go to kick the PAT, my game lags, and I'm about to kick the meter, and it fills up, and I shank the ball, and it goes, misses, and it misfires, and it's terrible for me. Okay, so now I'm only up 2. I can still stop him. He has all 3 timeouts left. He starts to work the ball down the field. He's using his timeouts, and I'm actually starting to get nervous. It's 3rd down. I sense 4 verticals. I follow his tight end, Travis Kelce. Guess what? It is 4 verticals. I'm in perfect coverage, and I'm on him like glue. He throws the ball at me anyway, and I got to make a play. The ball hits my defender. Kelce flies in the air and somehow makes the catch at the 30-yard line. 3 seconds left. Calls his last timeout, kicks the field goal, and I lose. Moral of the story, guys, he tried me, and I lost and didn't make the play.
That hurts the most.
Yep.
Hurts the most when you got to look in the mirror and be like, he tried me?
He tried me.
Because sometimes I know they're going to throw the ball at me, and I get a sack, and the ball just goes in the ground, and I'm like, he was going to throw at my user. Yep. But when they actually do throw at user, you're like, please be 4 verticals. It is 4 verticals. I'm standing here. I just got beat. And it's my fault.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for this week's show. We appreciate you guys tuning in.
If you're
not,
let me get out of here without telling them? That's awesome,
Oh.
man. All right,
Oh,
man, here we go. All right, guys,
no,
take it
no.
easy.
Hey,
Oh.
we waited around this long for some news.
All right, good, go.
All right,
Whatever you're going to
all
say,
right.
good. Whatever you're
All
going to
right,
say.
so I just want to say it's a little bit later this week, guys. Don't look for anything today. But, okay, I will tell you this. Ultimate Freeze is coming.
Oh.
Okay.
Let go.
It's a combination of community favorites. So just look to what you guys have been asking for a long time. We're gonna try and give it to you. Okay. I'm gonna give you one more tidbit. It wouldn't be Christmas and the holidays without out of position players, and we'll leave it at that.
Wow.
You heard it first from the goo. You heard it from the goo. That's why we have a goo. That's why we get a goo. But guys, as always, we appreciate you guys spending some time with us. For Z-Files, for Rex, for the Goo, for RG, who's not here right
sir.
now.
Shout out to RG.
Shout out to RG. Guys, this upcoming Friday, don't forget, we have the EA Sports Madden NFL Live Invitational Draft Champions event. We've been releasing who the competitors are this week. Yesterday, we announced T-Raw, who's going to be competing in it, and Secret.
Little secret.
William Secret Wolf, a past champion from yesteryear. We'll be announcing 2 more competitors for that 8-man invitational on Friday. Make sure you're here at 1 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/EA Sports. We'll be here for that invitational. We'll catch you guys next time. Files, where can they find you?
If you need more Team of the Week, if you want to go further in depth with those guys, youtube.com/zfarls. We're also stream on twitch.tv/MaddenTips.
Rex?
I'm at Rex DEA Football. I'm also hanging out in everyone's Twitch stream, so look for me in the chat room.
Goo?
The Eye of Sauron is ever watchful. I'm at MUT Guru, also at EA Sports _MUT, and also recently on Instagram.
Bang, 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 bang.
Yo,
Bang.
don't sleep on the Goo's Instagram.
Yeah.
He dropped the Browns running back yesterday on his gram, and I was like,
Let's go.
okay.
A little early.
Peep the Goo.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Follow the channel if you haven't already, and we'll see you guys next week. Maybe potentially live from Burbank.
Live from Burbank,
We'll
maybe?
see if we have that technology. We might do
Yeah, look out for a Periscope.
number 5 MUTCast in Burbank. So we'll catch you guys later. Appreciate it as always, guys. Take care and happy mudding.